Good morning, guys. I'm slightly late, but it's for all your benefit, so don't worry too much about it. I had to get the new Zibo out. I had to understand what happened, so we can actually have a look at it together, because I haven't seen it yet. That's how late I am. All right, so we're going to look at this new Fix 21. And then I also spoke to Eugenie from JarDesign, and he's given me a test version of Linda. That will hopefully fix the trim issue, maybe a few other bugs. We didn't have enough time to really talk about everything. Eugenie, if you're watching, thank you very much. We're going to put it through a paces, so it's going to be slightly different than usual, where I'm just going to use a little bit more than usual. And yeah, then we're just going to see where the group flight is, because they're going to probably leave way before me. So yeah, morning Jet Power, Christer, Attila, Dave, Rob, and Tommy. Oh yeah, now I'm gonna have to fix this too. What? See, I just got it. Now she's not working. I'll fix it now. Set up poor Linda. There you go. Just hide these things. Ach nee man. Get them there into the corner. Let's go load that one. We'll just jump back to this one. Morning, Andy. Let me quickly fix that, some detail. See, I was in a bit of a rush. I even had the title wrong. So this is now 21. Save. All right, you can press F5. It should update now. I was in a mad rush here eventually at the end to try and make this 10 a.m. local time connection with you guys. But I just want xEnviro to settle before we start the reload immediately. Just now it crashes me out, and then it's not explained in AMD, you know?
Hello Cap. Nice to see you again. Please remember to start your A cars.
Right. Eugenia, I just changed the start phraseology if you're watching. It's just a basic edit of the events file. So no, I didn't change anything else, just for the record. All right. Okay. So here we are. There's Linda. Let's see if we've got the right Zibo loaded. Yes, we have. All right. So before we get going, let's have a look, see what Zibo is on about when he talks about this overhead switch and stuff. Right, so there's number 3 on my shortcuts. So here, it's something with this anti-collision thing, and then there's an annunciator for it, which I don't know where it is. We need to find it.
Procedure.
It says cabin ready. Oh, it's by the wiper. Oh, it's not activated. Ooh, okay. I see by default it's off. So I don't know if it's going to be in here. Systems. cabin panel cabin ready. Yes. Ah, there you go. See, now we've got the cabin ready. And then apparently you can change the colors of this thing. There you go, switch color, white or red. When the collision, no, hang on. Okay. Anti-collision switch color. All right, so you can have it in white or red. We're going to try it later and then we'll see. Attila, there's no news on the xEnviro update yet. I told the guys I'm back in action. We can start testing from my side again and all. And they haven't responded to me yet. So I think they might just be busy. All right. So in case, I did put it in the release notes for you guys. In case you were wondering why this update is 25 megabyte and not 7 megabyte like before, it's obviously because of the panel at the top that needed to be changed. All right. So just bear that in mind. That's why the download's a little bit more. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, blue with white writing, okay? But now you guys have to be careful, all right? Because I think there's going to be other things at play here as well, okay? Because remember, there's a setting that you can change the times or non-smoking and things like that. So if you can, just run some tests, okay? And just give some feedback if something looks funny, but, you know, so far so good. Right, so let's get some power into this thing. Let's have a look, see. I see Zibo said here to one of the other guys, he must test it with S-site services. What we're going to do is exactly that. We're going to run the S-site services thing. I just want to set Linda up completely before we continue. Execute PM only. And announce the SOP. All right, let's just do the basics first, then we can look at our S-site services and what this thing does for us. Come on. Missed that click spot. So anti-collision itself doesn't really do anything. All right, so there's got to be more triggers to this. Right, we're going to come back to this page. Let's actually go do the dispatch. I haven't even done the dispatch of this flight yet, so just bear with me. Let's do this. Where's WebEye? We get WebEye. That side, make sure we can see it. And we can show you guys. There you go. Oh my goodness. Need to fix this quick. Hang on a second. See, all of these little niggly things I usually do before I go online, so I do apologize that you have to now watch me set everything, but it is what it is. Right, oh, and I see I've never done the bar at the top either. I'll do it before I explain the runs. See. The clipboard. You see, I haven't played with it yet. It's something like that. Yes, you're right, but I haven't played with it yet. Ah, there you go. So it's the actual physical switch that changes. Thanks, Christer. We would have picked up on it just now. You were just a little bit too fast. Okay, so that annunciator will then still be blue with a white writing, but this one now becomes a different color. Oh, that's cool. There we go. Right, well, then we don't have to stay on this thing. Let's go save it. Remember, when you change anything, you have to save your configs, all configs, eh? And that's done. Thank you. Saved me from finding it. Why is this thing so cropped up? That's better. Yeah, it like that. Righto, generate. Let's see what this thing tells us. Where's that thing? Right, I'm just dispatching that thing. And now my course wants to update again. See, old Nabil is hard at work there fixing this iCars. Right, there's the top bar running. Let's get iCars going. Yeah, this time we've got the aircraft in the selection. Start the flight. $166. I'm just checking that we've got the right values. Yeah. All right. Hello, Steve.
Ground to flight deck, plan acknowledge. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Yeah, well, I think we'll do that when we get there.
Ground to flight deck first is connected and starting refueling.
Right. I'm gonna try remember this. I haven't tested the VNAV path and the descended stuff. If I don't add an approach, there's the star, no approach. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna see if it works. Okay. Might as well get that test done. And that's it. Ends abruptly right there in there. Where is the small lot? Oh, there. Oh, I got it. Yes, okay. Okay. Right, so then from there on, we need to add something. Vaughan, earning my keep in the sweat of my brow, buddy. How's it going your side? Tommy, on Iveo, they want us to set the transponder to 1000. For them, it's like a default. Okay, we know that 2000. Oh, and by the way, 2000 is not usually in all the countries the same. All right. So Iveo's got this thing that if you set it to 1000, then sometimes they don't even give you a squawk code because the system accepts that as the squawk code. All right. Whereas if you have anything other than 1000, sometimes they'll ask you to set 1000 or they'll give you a squawk code then. So I've just learned, set it to 1000 and then, 50% of the time they don't even give you a squawk code. They're happy with 1000. They'll have to explain to you in more detail. It's just something I picked up.
Ready for pre-flight procedure. Pre-flight procedure.
morning.
Yes, morning, Wycliffe. Yeah, brand new, brand new. Just got it from you, Janie, like in a minute or two before the stream. So we're testing her now. Hopefully she can set the trim.
Hello.
Morning, Sasso. How are you?
All good, you?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Just loading the new ticket.
Excellent. Yeah. Do you guys have the red cover for the anti-collision switch in your aircraft or not?
Well, I can only tell you, guess why it's by Zibo.
Okay. Good.
I reply in another way, let's say. Yes.
Yeah, I understand. I get it.
Please check that the flight level is set correctly. Please
Imagine,
check that the
guys,
landing altitude is set
crossing
correctly.
an active runway. You get position to strobe steady as you are crossing the runway because you want to have the strobe on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then once you go out, maybe he's calling you in a PTA to change frequency. So with one hand you are touching the switches, the other one you are tuning the frequency. Your selective attention in your mind is down to the frequency, to the number you set.
Yeah.
And you just turn the anti-collision instead of position.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
Makes sense. Morning, Eugene. Right, let's see. A bit of a technical question. When Zipa implements something like the cabin ready thing, does it have? I don't know, Attila. I don't know. I have no idea.
Pre-flight procedure complete.
Ask Sasso about the new
I'm ready for pre-flight checklist.
handling cabin ready. Oh, yeah, it comes from him. He's the guy that put it in. Okay, so
Not the cabin ready.
not the cabin ready. Okay, just the
anti-collision
switch.
yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Not the cabin ready.
So the cabin ready, from what I understand, I mean, I read everything Zibo said here this morning, is basically when the cabin is ready, when Trish comes and tells you, that's the lady's name that speaks there, that the cabin is ready, that light should light up. It should tell you cabin is ready. That light there.
Yeah.
Wycliffe, no, the red cover is something in the update from this morning in Fix 21.
Pre-flight checklist. Voice recorder.
There is a bug. Gonna show you. So you go into your EFB and you turn the cabin ready to off.
You know. Yeah.
Now look below the no smoking. You have the attend button.
Yeah.
You have the ground call button, but below the attend button there should be the small window that illuminates when you receive a call from the cabin.
Gotcha. That's
now
the other.
Missing.
Yes, but
That's
when
the
you
old
switch.
version.
Understand.
That's the old version.
Understand.
And it should be there.
Understand. Okay,
when
now
now you switch cabin ready back on.
I see it.
You get both of them.
Yes.
Which is
okay.
fine, but the top one should remain on with cabin ready off. I will report this.
Thank you.
22 on the way. Promise.
Yeah. Christer, we're going to learn together now because obviously you see there's one small error. Okay, so we're going to learn now what happens when we get Trish telling us that the cabin is ready and that light is not on. It's a mistake. If it comes on before, we need to see what's the trigger. Okay. Yeah. Oh, she's waiting for me.
Not on. I will do. Oxygen.
Okay, thank you.
Tested 100%. Navigation and display switches.
Navigation.
Normal. Auto. Window heat. On. Pressurization mode selector.
Okay, well, Trish came and went and nothing happened on that light.
Flight instruments. Heading 236. Altitude 3. Altimeter 1029. Parking brake. Engine start levers. Pre-flight checklist complete. Enter the missing data in the CDU. Ready for before start procedure.
Let's see if she can do the trim. I'm dying to find out.
Trim down.
Nope, not working. Damn it, that is heartbreaking. While I'm sitting here, let me just send him a message. Yep. Okay. It's possible weight. I'm not too sure. I wish I was a coder sometime, you know. I sometimes wish I was a coder. Ugh, let me rephrase that. Anyway, that's about 5. Yeah, well, that's why we test things, hey, Tommy? Hello, Chris. Right, okay. Oh, that's a bit disappointing, but that's why we test things. Let's do this. We're ready for the setup. Okay, let's see where these other people are. All the buddies should be in the air by now. There's WebEye. Oh, yeah. Oh, they long gone. Excellent, Christer. Thank you so much for fixing Lancia. It'll help us locals a lot. Okay. What's happening there? No, man. It's fine. Looks funny. Right, we've got everything ready to go.
Before start procedure.
Ground to flight deck. Go is ready now.
When is this cabin ready light supposed to come on, Sasso?
I guess when all the passengers are seated and
Before start procedure
number
complete.
one close the front door.
Ah, that's what
Ready
I
for
thought
before
too.
start
You know, and then
checklist.
this woman comes and she says, we're ready to go, you know, whatever the word is that she's using there.
And close the cockpit door.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Did she close?
Yes, she did it. Yeah.
So I guess she should be already with you then.
Yeah.
Unless there has been a delay, kind of.
But it's not triggering.
Okay. Our doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Okay, now connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
We did.
Starting pushback. Clear to start engines.
Start number 2 engine. Nothing. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
I think there's a very good chance that the guys don't push back here, that they actually use the nose wheel steering and they just turn around.
N2. Starter cutout.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Start number 1 engine.
Stand by.
Start number 1 engine. Ugh, this thing doesn't listen long enough. It blocks my command. Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Thank you. It
Okay,
is.
that's disconnected and being removed. See you on the right side.
25 and 2.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you. Bye bye. It's the Microsoft voice recognition system in Windows. That's what they use for Linda as well. It's just the generic Microsoft voice thing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ready for before taxi procedure. Starter cutout.
Before taxi procedure.
Engine start procedure complete. Before taxi procedure. Before taxi procedure complete. I am ready for before taxi checklist. Horizontal stabilizer trimmer not set for takeoff.
Starting now. I'll wait for an answer here from the development room. Chris, it is okay. In my system, I have to recalibrate them like every second or third flight, sometimes every flight. But they actually work very nicely. I've had them for years already. Before I take off, I just need to fix this IVO. I haven't filed it online, so there's no flight plan for me. Yes, Tommy, yes, I'm going to do it now. Hello, Andy. Just want to quickly get the flight plan. Very good.
Nico,
Yes.
just before somebody reported, the cabin ready business doesn't work. I cannot see it into the blue 77.
What do you mean? Did you set that setting in the EFB and the lights don't appear on the panel? Huh?
Exactly. I copied the plugin and all the stuff. So I got in the level up, I got the Zibo base.
No, but in LU it won't work. It's not part of LU.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's
just
Zibo.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for Zibo. Alright. Yeah, let's see if there are any traffic in the area. Nothing. Here we go. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure complete. Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Approaching 29.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for takeoff.
I see myself online on WebEye now. I've been deserted. My pilot buddies are all gone. They're probably landing already.
Remaining.
Or getting close to top of descent at least. That guy in his sailboat, he was there yesterday as well. He must love aviation. Maybe he's a pilot as well. So?
Yes.
I'm streaming locally here in Discord now for you as well. Sorry, I forgot.
Oh. No worries. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate you joining me again today. Feels like good old times.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully, you
Runway
know, my
29
internet will,
confirmed.
survive.
You sound perfect.
On runway 29.
Stabilized.
Doga, let's go.
Takeoff thrust set. knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Acceleration altitude.
Ah, that looks beautiful.
Approaching transition. Position altitude. Flaps up and set.
Sorry, I see I was muted. I just wanted to explain where the guys are. Yeah, they're about to land already. I'm right at the top there.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches off.
Gents, I need 2 minutes. I'll be back just now. I just got noticed that I need to start filling my water tanks again, so I just want to quickly go open the taps. I'll be back.
1000 to level off.
Todas iguales, auto 50 full established and 1 meter to right.
Gentlemen, I'm back. Sorry about the interruption. Unfortunately, we have to do what we have to do. Good answer, Tommy.
Gracias de Belén. Era ya mi puto gordo.
Yes, it should jet power. I'm just waiting. Let's
Hasta
get
un
to
punto no como
360.
la que no sé yo, bro.
Let's get to 360, and you can see max is only 393. So I'm going to try push it to 40. All right. Then we're going to have a look-see. Yeah, sorry. I muted myself because I had a sniffle. I had to clear my nose a bit. So, yeah. We're going to have a look quickly when we get there, see what it does then. Because theoretically, it should have some error or just can't do it or something.
To level off.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, Nico forgot. Sorry. Catch up. Put on the mask quickly before we go into blackout stage. So quick. It's off the mask. All right, okay, so. We might be too close to top of descent now, you see. Now it's not showing. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, we missed it. Unless we do this manually. Let's do it manually. Let's go back down to 320. Right? We'll leave that one for a second. Compensate. Whatever. Should be okay. Let's go down. Let's go back down. We are testing, so we might as well do it, you know? Play around. See if it works. So now the other problem, Jet Power, is we're running out of track miles, right? So we might not get it back because of track miles, or if we want to go higher than what the computation is, it might give other errors. So what I would suggest is you guys go test this on your own, when you're on a bit of a longer flight. Let me see what happens as well. I'd love to show it. We are here. Let's just do this as well. Takeoff. Takeoff. Please.
Thousand to level off.
See what it says. Morning, Gilbert. Goeiemorgen. Yeah, you see, the top of descent is, it's again, it's too close. I think what was mentioned.
What do you wanna test, Nico?
No, we were looking at the step up, step down thing. We did the step up, but we only, we didn't go past the maximum allowed, altitude. And then the question arose: what happens when you want to step, but you're too heavy and you can't climb? Let's say currently my max is 394. So let's say what would happen if you want to climb to 40? What will the FMC do? But now I can't show them because I can't climb there. We're too close to the top of descent. And I think you said the last time, or Zibo said, that will only show when you are further than 100 nautical miles from top of descent. Now we're within the 100 nautical miles, so it's not going to come up.
Yeah.
So we sometimes listen when you guys speak, eh?
Not up.
Sort of, yeah, sort of. Also, so I just realized we were in vertical speed, so that's also kind of counting against us. But I'm going to try it later on again with a longer flight, just to horse around with it a little bit. And 0 to 9. See, when I went online again, it reset itself to 2000, but we know the story of 1000 now. So there is the frequency. Minimus, ABC 440. Morning, George. It was quick. 440.
Ready for descent procedure.
Oh yeah, you can say that again. Oh man, what a dream! What a dream come true, eh? I mean, just look at it. It works. Everything is just cool again. Right. I think we are ready. Dave, Jean-Pierre, they're very close. Dave's going to land first, then Jean-Pierre, and I'm still a way off. It's not public yet. No, they're working on trying to fix the trim, but I already notified them it's not working. It doesn't work in this version at all. I now sent some screenshots. I also sent you, Janie, the link to this video so they can have a look. She ain't setting the trim proper. And we are at Kalamocha. For reference, if Andre, if you're watching this is close to Kalamocha. Flight plans in the description. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but that's how it's spelled on screen. And we've just gone past it. It's just the little area. There's your Janie.
Takeoff was great. We will see your landing. Approach top of descent.
Lovely square clouds. Haters will say it's not real. Thank you, Tommy. You gotta laugh, man. You gotta laugh. Oh. Nico slept on the job almost. Steve, if you use LEDs, the nose wheel does not have a light anymore. It sits in your wing. If you use the old halogens, then the nose wheel will have the light again. But you see, I'm using LEDs, and mine doesn't have it. Let's just go check it's that setting.
Good morning, Sasa.
Good morning.
Hello, Uncle John and Laurie. My flight's okay. Just bring your mic a bit closer, please. Struggling to hear you. So far so good. I've just started my descent a few minutes ago.
You haven't got an engine out yet.
Not yet.
Oh.
Just wait.
But
Sasa.
no, wait.
Yeah.
I have to test this other thing. Remember, look, it hasn't bombed out now. It's literally actually working. So the first part of the test is done. We never entered an approach. All right, so that was the test I wanted to do. I suppose at this time I can go and enter an approach because it's working. It didn't bomb out again. So there you go. Now we have an approach.
You have an opportunity to check the latest updates, Sasa.
Yes. Yeah, we found a bug is already in the dev room, and well, it's a small bug. But Nico found that no signal was a key. So let's still looking.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which business? The anti-collision bridge.
I like the anti-collision light having the red cap. It's nice.
Yeah.
Listen, the thing I like most is having a stable PC and being able to do a flight without worrying.
Yeah, I love it.
Man.
Which runway are you planning in Valencia? Let's
3-0.
Come on.
That's what
Just
they.
go for 1-2.
That's what everybody used.
3-0. Is that the straight in?
Well, from the sea, yes. It's not really a straight in. It's got a bit of a bend before you get to your ILS.
So what's your latest waypoint? Start.
What do you mean latest waypoint? Going to SGO, Mulat.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Mulat is already in. Okay.
You like landing there in real world, Sasa?
Oh yes, especially for runway 1-2 in hot summer day when it starts to be bumpy because of hot air rising
Yeah.
up. So you said ILS runway 30.
Yeah.
That's luck. 3 degrees flight. Do we have any ATC there?
Let me see.
It's only 5 knots.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there's no ATC yet.
No ATC. Okay, that's good. Visibility. I'm checking the weather. Is fantastic day. Su 1,700, broken 5,000. So that's good visibility for a visual approach. Do we do a visual approach? So I show you how to plan a visual approach in the.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So a level change.
Yeah.
Speed back to 20. And see breakout. Now, go into the FMC,
Yeah.
find depth arrival. We go into arrival. You scroll until you find the runway 30 without any type of approach. No, keep scrolling. Next page, next page. There it is, runway 30. Now you enter nautical miles 4. 4.
Yeah.
And where it says, just press it into nautical miles. And where it says FPA, which means flight path angle 3, is the 3 degrees glide. Now you go into the LEX page, and you will find that you have an RX waypoint and a runway waypoint.
Yeah.
So bring the RX after Mulat, and the runway point, next page, a runway point after the RX. And we have built our visual approach. Now, what we have to do, we need to build on the navigation display kind of base. And you can see there already, you have Mulat, RX. So what we can do, we're actually a bit too high. So let's go heading select, left on heading. Actually, you know what? Make a left turn, so turn the wheel all the way until it says 110 again. So the aircraft will do a 360. There it is. Fantastic. Now, what we need to do, we need to build a kind of base turn. So I would say just put the RX waypoint after Sierra Golf Oscar. Yeah. And make the speed at Sierra Golf Oscar 220 or below. 20 feet. Because we wanna build our kind of base turn. Execute. Then you go into select the runway 30. You go into the fixed, enter runway 30, and just make a /4. This is just to have a bit of situational awareness. So, frequency for this approach, we don't need the ILS, so you can detune the ILS because you're gonna do visual approach. Minima. The minima for a visual approach is 500 plus the aerodrome elevation. So I'm looking at charts ILS 30. The airport elevation is 240 plus 500, so the minimum will be 740. Good. So frequency, minima, courses you can leave at 295 because it's just for reference, which is the runway basic. Sorry, 296, sorry, which is the runway, but we are not gonna use it. Last one is the VREF, you have selected it, auto brake 3, that's all good stuff. So what we are gonna do, Nico, I know you have Ian installed, so what is actually happening, we fly the approach on the Magenta with LNAV and VNAV. We need to take care of the configuration. So because we are cutting the approach at 4 nautical miles, as soon as we leave Sierra Golf Oscar, we want to be with flap 5 leaving Sierra Golf Oscar because that is our base turn. You can see there on the navigation. Yes. And then I would say 3 nautical miles from the RX, gear down, flap 15, and all the stuff. So I'm gonna drive you through each step.
Yep.
So if you go back on LEX page, and how we're doing with the navigation display with the path, we still lie. No, just a bit. So it worked nicely. Okay, so reselect the Sierra Golf Oscar on top. Execute LNAV.
I can't see it from there. Sorry, let me just get back up.
No worries.
Flight
LNAV,
level
that's good.
100.
You are descending
Landing
to an
light
altitude,
switches
so
on.
you want to have the Q&H active. Perfect.
Flight level 100.
And just keep the
Landing
speed
light
brake
switches off.
until you are back on path. Once you are
Flight
back
level
on path,
100.
go
Landing light
VNAV
switches on.
and stow the speed brake. And then we're gonna start with the flaps, but not yet. You plan for a flaps 30, I can read it.
30, yes.
30 is nice. Yeah. Good. As you can see, guys, after the runway waypoint, there is nothing in the FM. which means that in case of go around, you need to agree with ATP on a go around route and a stop altitude. Could be the same of the ILS go around, but you need to talk with it because the visual approach itself doesn't contain any go around. So that's it.
Lester is loving this, Sasa. I think everybody is. Me too. Me too.
Nice.
Approaching
too, me
transition.
too.
Me too. Me too.
Me too. Okay, so the path is coming back nicely. So once you are on path, you can stop the speed brake and go back to VNAV. And then we start to think about the flap configuration. Because that Sierra Golf Oscar, as soon as we turn to the right, it's a kind of base turn. The base wanna be a 180. Perfect. VNAV, stop the speed brake, speed intervent, and back to the up speed. And start with flap 1. Flap 1 matches the
Transition
Let me just
level.
get my MCP set
Ready
up.
for approach checklist.
I can turn it like this.
That's it.
Aye.
Good.
Flaps 1 set.
Very nice. Don't worry about that yellow light. That's the auto throttle just telling us, oh, I have idle thrust. I can't reach the speed. Oh my god. No,
Panic stations.
fine. Yeah. Good. Flap 5 and reduce the speed. Level. Don't worry about the speed brake. We're good. Now, look at the navigation display. Situational awareness. Look at the wind. So as soon as we turn towards the RX, the wind is gonna be behind us.
Mm.
Means the ground speed is gonna be higher. Okay?
Mhm.
So what we wanna do in this case is to actually use a bit of speed brake because we wanna reduce that speed. So speed
Mhm.
brake out. Use the speed brake to reduce the speed. Because we wanna be on speed below 180 as soon as we leave Sierra Golf Oscar. This is always my thing. Always your wind arrow in your stand.
Understand.
In the meantime, just to stay ahead of the aircraft, turn the heading bag, because we're using LNAV, so start to be ahead, turn the heading bag to the right to match the magenta. That's it. Job is done. Now the speed is approaching 180. Just keep speed brake out until we are below 180. And then, because of the wind, slow the speed brake, but go flap 10. And remember, guys, flap 10 doesn't change the actual speed, and sees the same speed, but it's just more drag on the wing, so the speed will be more stable, especially if you are encountering big tails.
Excellent.
Good. Now the aircraft will start the turn. We are on speed. We are expecting the 180 knots EKO route base, so we can just enjoy the view.
Yeah, clouds are a bit low.
Now it's few 1,500, so xEnviro doesn't make any. Very good. Remember, to do a visual approach, you need to have the airport in sight and VMC condition, which means visibility more than 5 kilometers. We have more than 10 by looking at the meter, and ceiling, which means broken or overcast, more than 1,000. So we have a few of 1,500, doesn't make ceiling. Good, so as you can see, the aircraft in LNAV and VNAV is turning towards the RX waypoint, which is what we built. So now our job as a pilot is to manage the speed and the configuration. So what I would suggest, Nico, just to take our time and don't be in a rush, when he says 4 nautical miles from the RX, we drop the gear and we go to the landing flap. Okay, so we start at 4 miles from the RX30. Another things, you can see the altitude at the RX is 1550. That's your kind of flat. So what you need to do on the MCP descend to 1,600. Of course, we cannot set 1,750, so we always round it up dice. Good. In the meantime, I'm already thinking at the next heading to set. The next heading will be the runway heading. So if I look at the charts, the runway heading for runway 30 is 296. So later on, I'm gonna set 296 on the heading. And in this way, if I have to start a go around, the flight director roll bar will give me runway heading indication because I set 296. So as you can see, guys, there is always a rule for a reason. Why do we need to match the heading? Because if you do a go around and then you press heading select and the heading is not set correctly, it's gonna fly banana. This is my brain. Very nice. So we are at 10 nautical miles from the RX. The aircraft is doing everything on its own, basically. Just built that 4 nautical miles.
Morning, Jerry. Have fun.
Of course, guys, just a small note on this. Remember, the 4 nautical miles on 3 degrees doesn't work as a rule for every airport. Most of the airports nowadays are noise sensitive and stuff like this, or terrain could be. So don't take 4 nautical miles and 3 degree flight as a rule. Because it depends if there is
1000 to
terrain.
level
Maybe
up.
you cannot do a visual approach for that run if there is terrain rising approaching. Or if the ILS is more than 3 degrees, you cannot set. Let's imagine I have a 3.5 degrees ILS. I cannot do a visual approach at 3 degrees. Most likely I have terrain below me. So the first check I did was going into the ILS and check what was the glide of the ILS. Okay, Nico, you can reduce the range on the navigation display, so we have a better look of everything. That's it. Now, we are approaching the RX. We are at 6 nautical miles. Because you have EM system, you can see there the final approach course and the glide path. But we are not going to use approach button. We are going to play with LNAV and VNAV. Bit old. Okay, let's go. Gear down, flat 15.
Match speed.
Okay. Start switches continuous.
Yeah.
Okay, recall. V-brake armed.
Armed.
Landing gear down 3 green. Auto
Yes.
brake 3 set. Flaps 30. Go to the final speed. Match the speed. That's it. Now, on the MCP, we need
Ready
to
for
set the
landing
next
checklist.
altitude. So our minima we set is a 740. So we're gonna set 800. So VNAV after the RX will not stop descending, but will continue the descent following, if you look at the legs page, the 3 degrees glide down the run. So what we actually did, we built a kind of ILS, a path for our aircraft. And that's
Wonderful.
what we're doing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. Can reduce the range to the minimum now, because all you want to see now is magenta and the extended center line. That's it. As soon as you exit the clouds, you should be top right there. You should have the runway inside on the right. There it is, I guess. Where is it? More on the right, I guess.
There it is, there it
There
is,
it
yeah.
is. That's your runway. Okay, now, back in the navigation display, heading at 296. And as you can see, VNAV is flying beautifully
Take your
this
seats,
approach
prepare for landing.
into the runway. The speed is good. We are at the VREF. Landing checklist has been completed. The only things we are missing is the missed approach altitude that we're gonna set later on. For the missed approach altitude, let's imagine we agreed with ATC we're gonna follow the missed approach with the ILS. So the missed approach altitude will be 5,000 feet. We're gonna set it later at 1,000 feet AGL. So you can see there, be ready, Nico, to disconnect. So set the missed approach altitude 5,000.
Wait a second. Need to get everything right.
5,000 feet. And then when you want, approaching the minima, you can disconnect and you can follow the flight director because the flight director is giving you good guidance.
Approaching 30.
Joy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Approaching to
No, you said Joy, not John.
Oh, sorry.
Minimum.
No problem.
Enjoy, yeah, enjoy.
Enjoy.
500.
500. Clear to land runway 30.
400.
Valencia,
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Need to land at this flippin' upwards bend.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. Oh, I was stressing there for
Oh,
a
man.
minute, thinking, wow.
Auto
Nice.
brake in use.
Good.
Stabilized.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Sasso.
Pleasure.
60 knots. Yeah.
That
Great
stupid
landing.
upwards bend there,
More
that little
professional.
hill. It makes you
Well,
work a
that's
bit.
what we have on runway 30, huh?
Yeah.
3,000 remaining.
Valencia traffic Skymatix 001. Runway vacated. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sasso.
Pleasure. As you can see, guys, if you want to do a visual approach, I mean, what I did, kind of, because we're planning, when we were already, and in fact, we had to take a 360. So you never do this on the line with passengers. You want to plan a visual approach, be ready for it. Don't plan it at the very last minute. Because
No,
most
for
likely, to do it last minute, you're going to end up high, fast, funny.
After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
That was awesome. I agree. I loved it. Thank you, Sasso. You made everybody's day today.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure when my
After landing procedure
internet
complete.
works well.
Oh, yeah.
Flaps up and set.
Now remember, visual approach means that you might get established, you will get established not at the usual, you not follow the usual ILS. Usually you capture up 7 to 8 miles, if not before. What you can do, in our case, we treat it as we built the visual approach ourselves. Otherwise, the other option is adapt an existing approach, like an ILS approach, and cut it short to make it a visual approach. The good points of doing the adapting the ILS, so adapting an ILS, is that in case of go around, you are gonna have to go around the route in the LEXJ. If instead you do what we did, creating the approach yourself, as we saw in the LEXJ page, there was nothing after the runway page. So let's say the The extra workload will be that LNAV is not available in a go around, but you need to go in heading select and agree on ATC with some as a route.
Mhm.
Other than that, you can easily fly a visual approach. Of course, the main priority is to understand that now you are establishing a 4 nautical miles from the runway, so you really want to be configured at the appropriate. So we took our time, we respected the 180 base, we turned on final with already the landing flap, which is conservative, but that's what you want, especially if you're doing a visual approach. Wait.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody, for joining, everybody flying, and everybody watching. Eh? We made it. We eventually made it.
That's a simple question. When you're planning a visual approach, how do you plan your descent, your altitude that you need to be at before you turn base?
Sorry, what do you mean, Loring?
So when Nico turned base to go into the Orbx waypoint,
Yes.
how do you plan the altitude you need to be before you make that turn?
Because when you to create the visual approach, what you do, you go into the FMC and you
for
build the
shutdown
visual approach
procedure.
by creating the RX waypoint. Creating these RX waypoint at 4 nautical miles on a 3 degrees glide from the runway. So it's built backwards from the runway waypoint back to the RX, back to your base point. So it's the FMC giving you the altitude crossing at the RX. We didn't do anything. It was the FMC that calculated the altitude. The only thing we did, we created, or actually in that case, we connected RX with Sierra Golf Oscar to build our base terminal.
Okay.
But the altitude at the RX is calculated by the FMC.
Okay. All right.
The minimums that he gave me was aerodrome altitude plus 500. Maybe that's
Yes,
something
that's
that
what
you remember as
apply.
well.
Yeah, that is what you apply as a minimum.
Yeah.
You apply the 500 plus aerodrome elevation.
Wow.
And so Troy, just on that point, when he selected VNAV before getting to the SGO VOR, that would automatically calculate what altitude he needs to be at that VOR in order to make the altitude at the RX waypoint.
Remember that VNAV is built backwards. It builds the descent profile backwards for whatever point you have from the end of the descent. So we had at the RX, we were 1550 as an altitude, if you remember. So backwards to Sierra Golf Oscar, VNAV built the crossing altitude at Sierra Golf Oscar, and he gave us the descent profile on the navigation display. So initially we were high, so I said to Nico, do a 360, keep the speed brake out, so we get back on path. Once you are back on path, it becomes like a normal descent to your waypoint. So as soon as you have the path, you are on path on the navigation display, you can use easily VNAV, and VNAV will guide your descent to meet the net restriction, which initially was RX 1550, and then after the RX, there was the 3 degrees glide down to the runway. That was all built by VNAV.
Okay, that's useful. We should practice that one morning, John.
Yeah, why not?
Bear in mind, do it in airports like Dublin, Stansted, Bergamo, where you have a flat terrain, and when you have the ILS for that runway with the 3 degrees glide. If you start to see a glide which is more than 3 degrees, don't do a visual approach. It might end up in a terrain warning or stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me just say goodbye to the guys here on stream. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll check you again soon. Not sure when, but soon. Bye-bye.